Hi everyone, this is Allison. I am the Drunk Astrologer. I'm doing a very unconventional video today, as you can tell. I am actually on a vacation of sorts, paid vacation. And I get to spend time at the pool. So I wanted to get a video done this week, but I will be honest, it's been 113 for like the past couple days, so I've been spending most of my time in the pool. So that's why this is happening. I just wanted to share a little bit about what's been going on with me. I know a lot of you guys followed me for pick a card readings. That's when, kind of after I post a really good pick a card reading, is when I tend to gain the most subscribers. You guys seem to really enjoy my pick a card readings, and I've gotten a lot of really good support, which I greatly appreciate. I tend to get way more people supporting me than people who want to nitpick or troll on my readings, which I greatly appreciate. Unfortunately, if you haven't noticed, I haven't been able to put a lot of stuff out. I'm going through a lot of really significant life changes. I will be getting more readings out. I hope to actually be expanding and doing some other things. I want to do a couple almost like skit-like things, kind of talking about being a person who's into the occult in a normal life. But I've had a lot of anniversaries coming up in this next week, and it's been making me really reflect, and I wanted to do a video reflecting on the changes that are happening in my life. My sunglasses are really annoying. To reflect on some of the big changes that are happening in my life, as well as to kind of where I've been and where I'm going. So in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have a 6 months anniversary with my boyfriend, which is a pretty big deal for me. I'm going to have 2-year anniversary of when I had a really bad accident and broke my back. And I'm going to have the 6-year anniversary of when I bought a one-way plane ticket and moved out to California. So 6 years ago, I was living in Detroit. I had just finished college. I was going to college in Indiana. And for all the positives of the Midwest, if you like the Midwest, more power to you. There are some very good positives to Detroit. There's some really good things happening in Detroit. Unfortunately, it's not the place for me. The Midwest broke me down. Detroit kind of, unfortunately, living in Detroit during a recession kind of really did some bad things to my family. My family's still recovering. It was a very difficult time, and I had big dreams in life. I was going to go beyond getting just my bachelor's degree. I was going to get my master's degree and a PhD, and I had all these big dreams. And after everything that happened, I said, you know what, I just need to go start my life. So I bought a one-way plane ticket. I moved out to California. Best decision I've ever made. One of the things I've always said, and I truly believe this, is you're gonna know when you're in the right place for you, because life is gonna feel more like it's gonna be more roller coaster like. It's gonna have lower lows, but most importantly, it's gonna have higher highs. So yeah, moving to California was one of the hardest things I've ever done. I have been, in the past 6 years, I have hit some of the lowest points in my life. I have gone through hell and back, but I've also gone farther than I ever would have if I stayed in the Midwest. I've done more things. I've had more excitement. I've had higher highs. And one of the big things that happened is if I had never moved out to California, I would have never met my mentor. It actually ends up, I had horses. I had horses at the time, and I needed a place to keep them, and I found this barn on Craigslist and ended up befriending the owner. And I think I was there for about 2 years before we got really close. And then I went through, 2017 was my year of hell. 2017, on New Year's Day 2017, January 1st, 2017, I fell off the horse I was riding. I broke my finger. So I don't think you'll be able to see the scarring, but you can see the tattoo I have for the horse. B for Bud. I know it comes out weird in the camera. I broke my finger. I had a severe clean spiral break. The x-rays of it were gnarly. I actually had to go through 2 separate surgeries to get my finger straight again, and it healed amazingly well. So I have full function of my finger. I mean, it was kind of fun while it was going on. I had a full cast with just my middle finger. So like my hand was in a cast and then my middle finger. It's great. I could flip people off without them even seeing it. But so I went through that. I ended up in a dangerous roommate situation that I had to very suddenly get out of. And in the middle of all that, my pony passed away. His name was Bud Light. And during this time, my mentor kind of started introducing me to the occult. She started with astrology, which was really a good thing because astrology and cards work well for my astrology. I have a Capricorn stellium, and then I have a rising in Aquarius. I like to be able to make sense of things. I like to have a reason behind things. And I like flashcards. Like, I like flashcards and memorization. So, like, astrology was great for me. Like, I could memorize things. Doing the card readings, the tarot card readings, the Lenormand card readings. I do it more intuitively now, but when I first started, it was all very flashcard oriented type of thing. Like, that's how I learned. But she just slowly introduced me into it. And then 2017, later on in the year, it was Labor Day weekend of 2017. I had a very gnarly fall off a horse. I was riding this rescue horse that should not have been ridden. Thankfully, she is now a pasture pet, living her best life. But I asked her to do something she was not comfortable doing. I asked her to walk over a pole. It was more than she could handle. She went full bucking bronco. I was riding in a western saddle. I took a saddle horn to the eye, pushed me off. I spent that night in the emergency room. No one bothered to tell me that I had a fracture in my back. No one told me anything. I was in a lot of pain for a while. I couldn't figure out why. Finally, I think like a month later, someone's finally like, yeah, you broke your, like a doctor was finally like, oh yeah, of course you're in pain, you broke your back. And it wasn't until a year later that another doctor asked me how I was walking. So I think that all actually worked out for the best because I didn't realize how severe it was, so I didn't play into it. And it's like, oh, my back hurts, I had a fall, okay, I'll get over it, I'll keep moving. So that was... It was during that time with the broken back that I was healing that my friend really opened up, my mentor. And she had things going on in her life at the time, so it all kind of worked out that she was really ready to open up, and I was ready to listen. So she opened up to me, told me what was she came out to me as psychic, basically. And she started introducing me to energy healings. She did a lot of energy work on me. And I really dove in deep with the astrology and the cards. Like, I was excited about it. And it was actually around this time that I started the Drunk Astrologer. Because the joke we always had was, the astrology is so bad this week, I'm gonna need more drinks this week. Or, oh, my liver might get a break this week. And I wanted to turn that into like an astrology post. So I did, started the Drunk Astrologer one week, I think it was summer of 2018. I started the Drunk Astrologer, actually it might have been spring. I'm not quite sure on that. I think it has been spring because I've been doing this over a year now. But so I started the Drunk Astrologer. I Started it with doing weekly posts on Facebook that I still do. I do drink recommendations based off of, and then talk about the astrology of that week. And as my craft grew, per se, I started to do more. So I started the YouTube channel. I started off by doing like collective card readings and doing like kind of talking about the astrology. But that's not what people are really interested on YouTube, so I got into the pick a card readings, things like that. I started the Twitter so I could start making jokes. I started Instagram. I always kept it to astrology and cards though, even as I expanded. So in my personal life, my friend was doing energy work on me, energy healing. She kept joking that she was training me to be her next, like to do this for her, so that she got free energy healings as well. And I was always kind of, whenever I heard that, I was kind of laughing, be like, oh yeah, sure. I'll be able to do this. I'll be talking. Like, I didn't believe it. Like, I didn't believe that I would be talking to spirit guides and that I would be removing cords or grounding her, moving energy through her chakras. Like, I just didn't believe it. And sure enough, I ended up getting to the point. I picked up a couple spirit guides that I work with daily. I was doing healings on her, and there was this power behind being able to help someone that gave me a new sense of confidence. But with the energy healings, I didn't really have a way to direct the energy and that confidence into my daily life. So I was really excited when I got into spell work. My mentor actually got back into it. She had done it in the past. And so I got into spell work. And that is, I love spell work because I can take that energy and I can really channel it in a very constructive way. So, and I found a lot of success. I managed to get in a very healthy, happy relationship. I mean, it's only 6 months, but I was able to define what I wanted in a relationship. I did the spell work behind it, and I ended up attracting someone. So I had 5 things I wanted in a relationship. I ended up attracting someone that, if for some reason this relationship does not work out, I have more things added to that list for the next relationship of things that he does that I don't think I could live without now. I also, the other thing that's kind of leading to the big changes in my life is that through the spell work, I gained a new sense of confidence, and I gained a new sense of what I deserve. And when I did that, I started to realize that my day-to-day job, I started to realize how bad I was being treated. I was actually in a very bullying type situation. I was I don't want to like blame these people and say that they were discriminating against me, because I don't think they were doing it. I think they were doing what they were doing out of fear of me. And I don't want to, I didn't have anyone come out and say exactly what that fear was, that if it was because I was into the occult. I also have different political beliefs than they did. But in the end, the situation, I don't want to get into too much details, but the situation went bad really fast. It went really bad. But regardless of everything that happened, what I walked away from is that I deserve more. Everyone deserves more. No one should ever be in the situation that I was in. No one should ever be treated like that by their coworkers or the company they work for. It's not appropriate. It's not acceptable. As human beings, we all deserve more, regardless of anything, regardless of race, gender, orientation, preferences, religion, belief systems, none of it. We all deserve better. And on the spectrum of things, there are people that have it way worse than I do, and they deserve way better than they have. But because of getting into this occult stuff, because of doing the spell work and the astrology, I truly realized how much better I deserved. And I did the same thing I did with finding a new relationship. I came up with 5 things I deserve from a job. And I did spell work behind those 5 things. And I actually turned jobs down. Because I could tell you within the interview that they were not going to reach my five things. And I'm happy to report that September, beginning of September, is going to become another anniversary for me. It's going to be starting a new job. And they might not always hit those 5 things, and if at some point this new job doesn't hit one of these 5 things, I will look for another. But I'm excited. Now, what does this mean for the Drunk Astrologer? I want to keep doing pick a card readings. I actually want to get into some new stuff. I want to do skits. I want to do more. But by picking this new job, I am saying that the occult is not going to be my career for right now. Which does mean, so the company I'm going to work for does require 49-hour work weeks. They compensate for it. But, it's not going to be like I'm working 49-hour work weeks but only getting paid for 40. They pay very well. They treat their employees really well. There's a lot of benefits. My brother-in-law works for the company, and he is actually getting sent to Cancun soon. So they definitely treat their employees well. So that just means a little less time for the Drunk Astrologer, a little less time for pick-a-card readings. I'm sorry that it's happening, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to keep the Drunk Astrologer Etsy store open. So if anyone ever wants readings from me or spell work from me, you can always go on Etsy. It might take me a little bit longer to get back to you, but I do promise to help everyone who contacts me. I am still doing candlewood spells. This is a new venture that my mentor and I have gotten into. We do special custom spell candles. They're awesome. They're in mason jars. They burn for hours. We have a couple pre-made that are going to be cheaper. So we have like banishing spells. We have, I think we have some like success ones. We have these really cool layered ones that are good for a ton of stuff. If you just want like a good positive life change, this is a good candle. The other thing we do is you get readings, either from, most likely it'll be from my mentor, the Regulus Portal, Lauren over at the Regulus Portal. You'll get a reading from her, and then we'll make a custom spell candle. So I am still doing that as well. So, sorry if things seem to be slowing down, but it's all for the best. If anyone has any requests for any pick-a-card readings, you can always let me know. If you have a request for any other kinds of videos, you can also let me know. I know this was a little bit of an unusual video. I am cooling off in the pool, but hey, I'm happy to be sharing my life with you guys, and I look forward to the future. So thank you to everyone who's coming on this journey with me. All the info of all the things I want you to check out will be in the description. Etsy, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Like, subscribe, you know the deal. Whatever. So, alright, well, thank you so much. Bye.